Hi, this is Roy Michael with Channel 21 News. A lot of you know me because I have been one of the main forces fighting against this onslaught of warehouses that they're trying to put here in Hemet. These monstrosities. I live at the lakes at Hemet West. On the eastern border is 66 acres that they're looking to put 4 giant warehouses in 5 feet from my bedroom. A lot of you have heard this before. There's also a project right down the street at the corner of Sampson and Warren where they're looking to put in another big, massive project right next to a community. I mean, what is the thinking here? If you go up Warren Road, which recently they were just about talking on the north side of Warren to change it to 6 lanes, all that open land out there, be perfect for warehouses. It's not next to where anybody lives. And there's going to be road that'll take it right up to Ramona Parkway and get them to the highway on either 10 or 215 very easily. The parts that they're looking to put in here are 10 and 14 miles away from the highway. These trucks are going to be driving down our city streets. The one at Warren Simpson says there will be 2,900 trips per day, combination of cars, this is my cat Teej, a combination of cars and semi-trucks. Now, that's just from that one. There's 1,000 parking spaces here at the lakes at Hemet West right next door that they're going to have there. Plus, you've got that monstrosity at Kirby and Acacia, which is absolutely enormous, and it's right across the street from a major housing community, and none of which were notified. At Simpson, nobody showed up at the meeting to protest it in the initial stages of it because nobody knew about it. There's a transparency problem. They're really pushing these warehouses. Now, warehouses bring construction jobs. They bring warehouse jobs, but here's the problem. Construction jobs are short term. They're going to be there 6 months, 8 months, maybe a little over a year, and then they're gone. That's not long-term thinking. We need long-term thinking. What do warehouses bring? Well, the warehouse that they're looking to put at Warren and Simpson, which was just recently voted down 5-0 on building it in Hemet, is just going to be a way station. They are going to be bringing in stuff for Costco, TJ Maxx, and Walmart. And then they truck it in, and then they truck it back out as those 3 companies do it. Now, I had someone today I saw when I posted that it was going to be Costco and them. He said, "No, you're lying." So I sent him a copy of the video from the Planning Commission where the developer, which I believe is called Newland, had it up on a PowerPoint, and it showed the 3 logos of those 3 companies. He said, these are going to be the tenants. There's a lot of misinformation going on here. Speaking of misinformation, right next to me where they're looking to put in those 4 giant warehouses is a beautiful stand of about 40-some eucalyptus trees. Now, their arborist came in and said, oh no, they have to cut all those down because they're all dead. They want to cut them, pave paradise, and put in a parking lot. Some of you have heard me say that before. Well, here's a picture I just took the other day of all these dead trees. There's 40-some trees. You can see all the leaves. There's got to be 500,000 leaves up there. They're all green and vibrant. They have been pumping oxygen into the city of Hemet for 100 years now. And they want to replace that with diesel trucks that are going to pump thousands of tons of pollutants into our breathing area here in Hemet, which is a bowl. Things don't go away. They just kind of sit in here. And replace it, oxygen, with diesel fumes, okay? This is not good thinking. Now, I live, again, 5 feet from this warehouse project. I have COPD. It's a degenerative lung disease. I can't inhale all that stuff. Now, I'm eventually going to die from this disease. I just don't want it to be next year, okay? Now, these developers have these great claims about all these jobs in warehouses, because most of the employees are just workers that run around and pick stuff up and put it down and, you know, move it all around on the trucks, off the trucks, stuff like that. Here's the problem with that. There is nothing in any of these proposals that they can be held to when they say, oh, we'll have 1,000 employees. Because here's the issue. There's a major Inland Empire food delivery company called McLean. It's been around, I think it was 130 some years. They have a giant warehouse in Rancho Cucamonga, 2 in Riverside, 1 in Ontario, and 1 in San Bernardino. They just announced that they're laying off 100 of the warehouse workers at their Rancho Cucamonga warehouse because you know why? They're going automated. Now they have 5 of them here. Do you think they're just going to automate the one, or do you think there's going to be another 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 of them laid off? Okay? Now, if a developer says, oh, we're going to have 1,000 employees, there is nothing legally stopping them from when they start to build the warehouses. They can just build them as automated, and all of a sudden, 4, 5, 600, 1,000 of those jobs in all the different warehouses disappear. All right? We've been lied to by them before. This was an absolute lie. You heard, I'm sure, that last Thursday, the City Council voted a 45-day moratorium on warehouses. You know what that means? Absolutely nothing. It's all for show. It's to get everybody off their backs. Now, I have been working very closely with the City Council. I've interviewed each member of the City Council, including Tom Lodge, who's one of the new members. The vote count on warehouses is probably simply going to be 3-2. There's 5 council people, including the mayor. 2 are against them. 3 are for them. They've all publicly stated this. Okay? So the moratorium doesn't mean a thing. Reason why I'm doing this video right now, come Monday, the 16th at 4 o'clock at the public library downtown right next to the big police station, they are having a special meeting, and this is the first time ever the Planning Commission and the City Council will be meeting together and listening to the community. This is the one we need bodies at. You get 3 minutes, and if you can get somebody else to yield you another 3 minutes, you can get up to 15 minutes from people signing a form saying that you can speak for them. This is our opportunity to be able to get questions asked about why they're trying to do this to our community. A NASA report came out, I believe it was in November, that had satellite photos of the mass of brown bad air hovering over the major warehouse facilities in the Inland Empire. Hemet doesn't have good air as it is. I'm not looking forward to having air that you can chew. It's ridiculous. Many of the cities around the Inland Empire have voted down warehouses and will no longer accept them. There's a new law out, AB 98, signed by Governor Newsom and supported by many, many of the legislatures that were elected by tens of millions of California residents that don't want warehouses. It puts severe restrictions on them. The one next door to me could not be built the way they want it because instead of being 900 feet away from people's homes, it's going to be 147. There's going to be 40-some loading docks, 147 feet from my bedroom window. Okay? This problem with it is it doesn't start until January 2026. So there is a loophole in this law that 1,000 semi-trucks could drive their way right through. Now, part of it was that by September 30th, complete applications for these warehouses had to be turned in. All the fees paid, paperwork brought in, everything like that. Fortunately, at the meeting, they determined that 2 of the 9 projects hadn't had all their stuff in. So they are effectively stopped for the moment. But keep in mind, this moratorium is going to get voted on again in about 42 days now. And it's probably going to be a 3-2 vote. Okay? They have the option to put this moratorium on for 2 years. Notes. Okay. 5 warehouses. Diamond Valley Lake is a classic example of promises made by developers that weren't followed through. I would like to know where the casino is that we were promised up at Diamond Valley Lake, amongst a whole lot of other amenities. What we got was a dam, a lake, and a bait shop. And all the other, quote, promises that were in the project development sheets never materialized. The same thing is going to happen with these warehouses. There's not going to be all these jobs. They're pushing, well, diesel fumes are much better now. No, they are not. They're talking about, well, we're going to have electric semi-trucks. They're not going to be around for years and years and years. The numbers and production on them is way too low. We're going to have diesels here. Now, a friend of mine went over to Paris, where there's a whole bunch of warehouses built, and some of those warehouses are owned and built by the same company that's building the warehouses here next to the lakes in Hemet West. They videoed a line of, I think it was 18 or 19 semi-trucks that didn't have trailers yet. They were sitting on the side of the road waiting. Now, the law states they can only idle for a few minutes. I don't remember the exact number, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever. Out of the 18 or 19, 13 or 14 were sitting there idling. Now, it was 60 degrees the other morning. You think if a semi's out there, guy's in the semi, he's not going to have his heater running. Now, what about the 105 and 110 degree days out here? Do you think they're going to be sitting in there sweltering in their truck without their air conditioning running? And there's no one to enforce this, because apparently the idling trucks are out there pretty much every day. Okay? So we have to make this meeting at the public library, 4 p.m. on Monday the 16th. We have to voice our opinions. This is the biggest opportunity we have to say hi to the camera, Teach, to be able to get our voices heard again and again and again, because we need to fight this. We need to stop this. Roy Michael, Channel 21 News. Please like and subscribe.